one of the most shocking things that's happened in the media this past 5 days since the assassination attempt has been like the trutherism. There's a trutherism that's being born about whether the assassination attempt actually happened. All right, hold on. Here's just a little bit of it. This is the latest iteration. Ari Melber, MSNBC host, suggesting that not that this didn't happen, but that the Trump bandage is really fake news.
Oh, right, yes.
It's Trump acting.
Yeah.
Because why would he have to do that, Ari? Because he didn't get shot in the ear? Like, why would you have to act with your fake bandage? Do we have it? We're trying to get it. But this is on the heels of, we played earlier in the show, Joy Reid coming right out being like, why haven't I heard the briefing? Was the ear actually shot? And so on. Here's Ari.
This was also showmanship by a politician known for his mastery of what they call unscripted reality TV. Here's how the New York Times put it. On the first night of this convention, Trump was his own biggest prop. He entered the VIP box, a large white bandage on his injured right ear, the result of a close call on Saturday with a would-be assassin's bullet. And that made it the most potent placard in the hall. That's fair. A placard for delegates to fill in, an image for political mobilization, a spectacle for this candidate who we know is, by his own admission, obsessed with assorted spectacles. There is a political quest here to mine and use Donald Trump's injury, and whether his allies and Republicans or the candidate himself do that in a way that overextends their credibility will be decided by the voters.
It's incredible. I was talking about this last night with some other reporters. So when George Bush did the mission accomplished photo, there was some backlash among reporters. This is a staged event. It's propaganda. We don't want to use it. There's a little bit of legitimacy to that point of view. Like I'm not obligated to use a White House photo that when they stage the scene. But what happened to Donald Trump? This photo, which they're now calling photoganda, they made up a word for it. That's what happened. It's a news photo of something that actually happened at the event, and there are people who are calling for him for newspapers to not use that image. They're talking about the bandage being a prop. I mean, if it was 4 feet high, that might be ridiculous, but it's an appropriately sized bandage.
It's hard to bandage an ear. It's like either that or the wrap around the head, which they'd really go nuts over.
Right. I mean, and he's, from what I understand, he might need surgery for it. I mean, it's an open question, but whatever. It's just a ridiculous thing to make an issue out of.
It's born of their hate. They don't realize what they're showing us about their true feelings.
Right.
And it's just absurd. I mean, we all saw the bloody ear when it happened. It's definitely gnarly. And I'm sure President Trump, A, doesn't want to parade it around for everybody to look at, like, but it's still an open wound. B, it's still an open wound. As far as we know, it wasn't stitched. And I'm sure he doesn't want to expose it, him being a germaphobe, to tens of thousands of people in this arena.
Absolutely.
He's 78 years old himself. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so then there's the trutherism, because it's not just Joy Reid in the soundbite we played. Michael Steele, former RNC head, wanting to know the details about, the bullet. Let's see more. I want to know, more about the actual shooting. And then we had Kara Swisher out there yesterday saying, oh, he did get up awfully fast. Like what? Like it was all a setup?
Right.
That's obviously the
Somebody died right behind him.
Right. Well, did Trump have that man killed?
Right.
Like, what's the theory that this is all made up? And this is not just the lunatic fringes.
No,
this is
I know.
all over MSNBC, some CNNers. So what is it? They're so angry about the Trump being triumphant and looking like a superhero in that one photo?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's like a mass psychogenic illness, but it's been kind of in place since the beginning of the Trump presidency. The reporters have sort of just agreed to agree upon certain themes, and they're like deer in a herd. Once 50% of them agree to go one way, they all go, And this, the talking point today is questioning whether the bullet really hit him. Maybe it was glass from a shattered teleprompter. That's the line that some people are going with.
But there was no shattered teleprompter.
Either way, why not just own it and say, okay, he did get up awfully fast. Cenk Uygur, who's has no love for Donald Trump, he tweeted, I have to say that was a gangsta moment, right?
Yes.
Just say it, move on. If you have criticisms about his policy or other things, you're going to go there.
Yes.
But why not? But why do this? It just makes you look bad. I just don't understand. As a reporter or as a journalist, you lose trust when you do that. There's no gain there.
They can't stand it. And you're talking about the photoganda. There's this debate amongst photographers on whether their iconic photos of Trump ought to be used. They don't like seeing them used over and over. And the campaign might use them, and they don't want that. It's like, it's history. You don't get to say how it gets used after the fact, by a copyright maybe, but just in terms of editorial judgment, that's up to the news people.
Sure. And then this was a criticism that a lot of journalists got during Russiagate when, there were reports that were contrary to the popular narrative about him. They would say to us, well, this is going to be used by the Trump campaign. They're going to publish this. Well, it's true. What are we going to do about that?
Right.
It's not a legitimate criticism to worry about who benefits from a true image or a true fact or whatever it is.
Meanwhile, the same people who are wringing their hands over that, over at MSNBC, for example, are faking their background as if they're here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Did they really do that?
They're not here. They're not here, but they're broadcasting from a set that has the RNC in the background. So
like
they come on.
Oh my God!
There it is. It's digitally superimposed. Now they do come on and say live from New York, so they are technically disclosing that they're not in Milwaukee. But they don't keep going back to it and alerting the audience who might join 2 minutes late that they're not actually here. And they continue to ignore Gold Star families and others. And they're basically fake newsing their way through the RNC.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was at the 2016 convention, and there were tons of media who were hostile to Donald Trump there at that time because I think they thought he was going to lose.
Yeah.
It was sort of a celebration moment for them. But they're not here conspicuously. There were a few networks who aren't friendly to Trump who are here, and a few more sort of objective ones. But why not? Why do that? That's crazy.
I know. It's like, hey, I don't care whether they come or they don't come, but don't stay home and then try to make it look like you spent the money and the time
Right.
and the effort to come to Milwaukee, get to know the locals, get the feel for the convention.
Right.
Maybe if they'd bothered to come, they would have taken the Gold Star families instead of what they did, because you would have seen, oh my God, something incredible is happening in this arena right now. But no. Okay, if you were not following the news, you may have missed it, but a massive hit to the US dollar just came in June when Saudi Arabia did not renew its 50-year petrodollar deal with the US. Since 1974, Saudi Arabia has sold oil exclusively in US dollars, and that was huge to our global economic dominance. Now they want options other than the dollar. So ask yourself, if there's less demand for the dollar, what happens next? Look, it's reasons like this that Americans are looking at Birch Gold Group. For over 20 years, Birch Gold has helped tens of thousands of Americans protect their savings by converting an IRA or 401k into an IRA into physical gold. To learn more, text the word MK to 989898 and claim your free, no obligation info kit on gold. That's MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold has earned the trust of so many with their education-first approach. There are thousands of happy customers and so many 5-star reviews. Consider protecting your savings with gold before the dollar plunges any further. Text MK to 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.